Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of July 12th, 2017. So let's get right into it. First up, we have Action Comics 938. This continues the Revenge story arc. This cover makes me think there's supposed to be more like covers that you add to it, but who knows if that's true. I'm behind on Action, like many of my titles, but hopefully I'll be getting caught up soon. Next up, we have American Gods number 5. I love the novel. The comic book adaptation has been good so far. I still need to try and check out the TV show. But yeah, American Gods is really, really good stuff. Next up is the title that everybody needs to be getting this week, and that is Dark Days, The Casting, by Scott Snyder, with art by Kubrick, Lee, and Romita Jr. I've already actually had a chance to read it. It's really good. You need to, if you haven't checked out Dark Days yet, you should try and find a copy of The Forge. Read that, but definitely pick up a copy of The Casting that's out today. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 960. This is Intelligence story arc. See how it goes. I'm getting behind, but hey. Next up, we have a Flash 26, Running Scared, continues in this story arc. Reverse Flash has been apparently very predominant in the Flash book after the Button stuff, but again, slightly behind, so I need to hunker down and read and get caught up. Next up, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 24. This continues the Fracture story arc. It's curious to see what goes on in that. It's been a really, really good book so far, and I really enjoyed it overall. Next up, we have a Valiant book, and the issue 4 was out a long time ago. I don't know when, but issue 5 is finally out, and you won't see it on the cover. Excuse me. But it is Harbinger Renegades number 5. Apparently somebody dies very graphically in this. I'll take this out real quick so you can see the actual cover that's buried underneath this warning label. And that's Harbinger Renegades number 5. Again, I've been really enjoying most of Valiant's titles, so hopefully that one doesn't disappoint. Next up, we have Justice League number 10. Curse of the Night King Butcher, Part 1. Yep, we'll see. I read the first story arc of Justice League of America, so I'm a little behind the ball on that, but I'm hoping to get caught up soonish. Next up, we have The Life of Bizarro, Part 1 in Red Hood and the Outlaws number 12. Nice backwards Superman logo there, bleeding to kind of signify the death of Superman cover. So yeah. Next up, we have Rose number 4. This title sold okay for the first issue or so, but has fallen off at our shop. Don't know why. It's not a bad story. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see sales slip a little bit on that title. But if you're curious, go ahead and see if your store has a couple copies of issues 1 through 3 and pick up all of those. They're good. Next up, we have Scooby Apocalypse number 15. Scooby and the gang get into post-apocalyptic shenanigans stuff. It's good stuff. I enjoy it. I'm just behind. Next up, we have Suicide Squad number 21. Story arc is Kill Your Own Darlings Part 1. I've enjoyed Suicide Squad overall in this run, so I'm curious to see if it's still good. Oh, sorry. Very long day. Yeah, so we shall see. Yeah, I'm just behind. Need to get caught up. Next up, we have Superwoman number 12. Rediscovery continues in this. Superwoman is just an okay title. If I really had to cut stuff, it'd probably be on one of the first ones I had cut. But it's not like bottom. It would still be up on the list. Next up, we have Titans number 13. This continues Endgame. Yeah, I'm not too. I've kind of fallen off on the Titans stuff. We'll see if I continue with it, but I need to get caught up. Next up, we have Wonder Woman number 26, Heart of the Amazon in Part 1. This is the stuff that continues after Rucka's run, so I'm really excited to see if the creative team can at least live up a little bit to what Rucka gave us in those first issues. So fingers crossed it's successful. That's it for my pull. I did get some variants this week. First up was the variant for Action Comics number 983. Thought that was pretty cool, but I thought it was weird that there's a dog in space, but hey. Next up is the one for Detective Comics number 960. Flash, of course, had a variant cover I thought was pretty cool, so I snagged that one up. Rose actually came with 3 covers. I only picked up 2, but the other one I picked up was the wraparound variant cover by David Finch. So yeah, so it wraps around. Wonderful, like always. So yeah, yep, that's what I got. Next up we have Suicide Squad number 21. Again, poor Chao's artwork is not the best. And yes, Trip, I always keep forgetting this chick's name. I'm sorry, but the variants for Wonder Woman number 26 I snagged up because they're awesome. I did get a graphic novel this week, and that is Birthright Volume 5, Belly of the Beast. Birthright's just been a really good, solid read. I need to get caught up in my trade reading. This is one of the titles I trade wait for, but I really enjoy it every single time I pick it up. So that's it for my pull list. Again, those are titles that I bring home with for my collection. Now it's on to the read list. Again, these are titles that I pick up to read and stay current as much as possible on as many titles as I can. First up, we have one from Black Mask, and that's Cal Exit number 1. Living in California. This book hopefully will be a little interesting, but it definitely is the spawn of what is happening today in our society, with kind of the split in how people think or perceive things on the landscape that is America. So we'll see if it's any good. Next up we have Defenders number 3, 3 issues in, and look, oh, Punisher is on the cover because we need to throw somebody else on there. The first 2 issues were okay. I'll read issue 3, see if it's entertaining. If it is, then I'll keep going. If not, it's done. Next up is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, Kill or Be Killed number 10. Hopefully we get revisited from the demon in this issue, because it's been like 9 issues or something, or 8, I don't know, but we haven't seen the demon in a while, so we need to know what the hell's going on with that. Next up is Old Man Logan number 26. Brenson's been doing a really good job so far, following up after Lemire's run, so I'm really curious to see how his second issue out of the gate does. Next up we have Planet of the Apes Green Lantern in number 6 of 6. Story's just been a fun crossover event. I'm curious to see how they end it. Next up we have Darth Vader number 3. Soul's been doing a good job on the Vader books, but I really thought the transition from issue 1 to issue 2 was exceedingly jarring, meaning there was issue 2 ended, or issue 1 ended on this, oh shit, something cool is going to happen, and then issue 2 doesn't pick up right where that left off. It picks up later. So yeah, not too big of a fan of that, but both issues were good on their own. So next up we have Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 9. Apparently Aphra has to go and be all pretty and make something, so we'll see if how that story goes. But I've enjoyed Dr. Aphra. The Screaming Citadel was a pretty fun story crossover with the Star Wars book. So yeah. And finally on my read list is Weapon X number 5. This continues the Weapons of Mutant Destruction. This is part 3. Yeah. I've enjoyed the crossover so far. It's a shame that it's so early on in the Weapon X series, and it's pretty much what Weapon X is started with, so it's not really a story arc of its own, because now it's bringing in other titles that were, yeah, I don't know. Still good, still enjoy it. If you haven't checked out that Weapons of Mutant Destruction, you should. It's pretty cool. So that's it for the pull list this week. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can leave your comments down in the comment section below. I'd like to see what people are reading. If you are really digging something, so on and so forth, let me know down there. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just recorded episode 316, which has been posted. There'll be a link in the description below for you to check that out. We discussed Spider-Man Homecoming in this episode. So there are spoilers. So if you have not yet seen it, you might want to skip that episode until you do. Yeah, we mainly talk about Spider-Man Homecoming, which I really enjoyed. I actually got to go Monday night with my brother. He enjoyed it as well. Overall, I was very happy with it. It was entertaining. It was a good, solid movie. The Vulture, surprisingly enough, is a awesome villain. Michael Keaton did an amazing job in that role. And yeah, so I mean, they changed things, but the essence of the characters were there, and so I really enjoyed it. A few nitpicking things here and there, but overall, I think Spider-Man Homecoming is a really, really solid movie, and you should go check it out. Yeah. Speaking of other stuff you should check out, Ryan Higgins, the host of Comics Conspiracy Podcast, got to have a phone interview with Scott Snyder, the writer of Dark Days, The Forge, the casting, also All-Star Batman from the New 52, and a couple other things. But mainly him and Greg Capullo are writing DC's Metal, which is the big event that's coming up this summer for DC, which I'm super excited for after reading Dark Days and the casting. I was excited, period, because it's Scott Snyder, and he's awesome. But I think this event is going to be really, really good, and just a really, really cool event. But Ryan got to interview Scott Snyder for what he thought was only going to be 15 minutes, but turned into an hour and change interview episode. So you can check that out as well at www.geekbox.net. There will be a link in the description below, but do check out that episode. It's really cool. I listened to it. It's really awesome to get the insight from the creator on creative process and all that stuff, and it's just a really good, solid interview. Scott, your work is great. Keep it up. You can also still have time to get a Bryce is Right t-shirt from Teespring. There'll be a link in the description below. The proceeds will go to help Comics Conspiracy, the store, move. We're moving at the end of the month. The 26th is our last day in the old location, and the 2nd is our new day, or our first day open in the new location. So we have a little bit of time left on that, but if you want to help out the shop and get a funny t-shirt with Bryce is Right and Bryce quotes on the back, you should check out Teespring. The link is in the description below for you on that. That's pretty much it. I'm dead tired. It's getting up pretty late here, and I've had a long day. So yeah. I have no idea what else I need to say. I probably skipped over something, but hey, I'll see you next week.